Just about ready for the kick-off now. This match of the day at the Sydney Sports Ground between Newtown, running left to right in the first half, and the Premiers St George. And there's the kick-off by Lanigan, deep towards the Paddington corner. Picked up by Smith, and he's attempting to run his way through, and well tackled there, about 30 yards out from the St George line. Pretty well centre field as Walsh feeds it out there, tries to get his forwards going, and Raper gets a nice pass away. Out it comes to winger King. King trying to go inside, steps inside a tackle there by Moore, and eventually grounded by winger Bullock, who chased him across a good strong run. St George really throwing it about play now, gets his pass clear. Going through it at that time was Pollard, well tackled there just inside the Newtown half. Back to Raper. Raper tackle underneath there by Newtown hooker Jeffries. Back to Walsh, over then to Evans to Clay. Clay tries a short kick. King will have to hurry to get to it. The winger there, number 2 for Newtown, is Quinn. Sun in his eyes, he just gets to it in time, almost forced out over the sideline, goes behind him. Lanigan gets it, runs straight and hard into Pollard. They're just outside the Newtown line. This could be danger for Newtown. Newtown forwards now attempting to run it out, and they've got it out about 10 yards, no more from their own line. Quinn now running wide, coming at him hard there is Goulet, and he's forced down. Loose on the ground, fed out by Jeffries, and a long one to Wilson. Wilson clapping on the pace, but well tackled there in a sandwich tackle. Newtown still pinned down, 10 yards out from their own line, the match only minutes old. Referee Samuelson caught in the middle, manages to step clear. Fed back again to Jeffries. Jeffries with a long one to Quinn, and then back inside there. Loose on the ground, though, as Pickard dropped it. This is St George ball. Raper gets onto it. Well tackled there. Coming over the top was Quinn. Plays it to Walsh. Long one to Raper. To Smith. Here's a chance. Smith looking for the opening. He'll probably go in right on the line. He's caught about inches short of the Newtown line. He'll play it back this time to Goulet. Out to Rasmussen. Rasmussen well tackled there. He'll be put down by Cowie. They're about 15 yards out from the Newtown line. That was 2 very close shaves for the Newtown side. Back this time to former English international Huddard, running wide, and again he's dragged down. To Walsh, loose on the ground. Still a St George ball. Going through it this time is Goulet, and he's only about 2 yards short of the Newtown line. Back to Walsh. Long one there to Raper, number 8, slips. Almost gets out of a tackle, but he was off balance. He'll get up and play it 15 yards out from the Newtown line. Going through it this time is Beath. Well held there by Quinn, number 13. St George 3, Newtown 0.
Well, St George have opened up this match in the most impressive manner I've seen them play for a number of years.
Well, this should be 2 points for Graham Langlands. Huddard made it all the more easy for him by putting the ball down right behind the post, and in comes Langlands. Between the posts, the flags are up, and so St George go to a lead of 5 points to 0 over Newtown after about 5 to 6 minutes play in the first half. Carnegie gets his pass away to Cox. Cox stumbling and falling down, and he's midway still between the St George 25 and the halfway line as it goes back to Quinn. A long one over there that time to Keys, and Keys clapping on the pace, still going. A lot of defence ahead of him now, and he's dragged down, but a good enterprising run has brought play up now about 20 yards out from the St George line. Out to Quinn. Quinn gets it to Carnegie. Well tackled there by Evans. He'll get up and play at centre field, 20 yards out from the St George line. Quinn in possession now. Inside pass back there to lock forward Oakley, going hard, gets his pass, clears in. There's a try as Moore goes in for Newtown.
Well, that was a wonderful comeback by Newtown. When they got possession of the ball, they looked just as dangerous as St George did in the first few minutes of the play.
Lanigan ready now. This kick on the St George 25, 10 yards in from the touchline. He's angled the ball to take care of the wind, and here he comes. It looks pretty good, and it's straight between the posts, and the scores now have been levelled. St George 5, Newtown. Cox puts the ball in, a Newtown ball. Carnegie tries the blind side, looking for a bit of a split. Evans follows him. He throws a pass behind him, dived on by Quinn, but the movement broke down. He'll play it to Oakley, and a penalty immediately. Some of the St George players caught offside, a penalty to Newtown. Lanigan now has placed this attempted penalty. Good looking kick again. It's going to swing away, I think. No, the flags are up.
Well, that was a good try by Evans, good thinking, but bad play by Newtown when Pickard yelled out to indicate he was going the blind side, not really wanting the ball, and of course knocked the ball forward. The ball hit his body and went forward, which gave St George possession, and you cannot give this great team of St George possession in circumstances like that.
It's about 12 yards in from touch and right on the Newtown 25. We can follow the flight of this one as Langlands comes in. Oh no, skewed off the side of his boot, misses completely, and the score remains St George 8 after about 17 minutes play in the first half. St George 8, Newtown 7, and still nothing in this thriller at the Sydney Sports Ground. Rasmussen trying to clap on a bit of pace. He's going to be picked up and dumped heavily there, rammed into the ground by Wilson, and St George losing a little bit of ground in possession at the moment. As it comes out to Raper, he almost found this bit, gets it back inside there to Walsh. No chance with that one. The scores remain St George 11, Newtown 7. Pickard to Cowie. Owen Clay comes in, almost tears his head off. And coming in for good measure there was Dick Hutter. Down he goes, midway between the St George 25 and the halfway line. Pickard to Paul Quinn. A long one, well taken by Oakley. Had to jump high for it. Tries to get a pass here. Knocked down, loose on the ground and dived on by Evans for St George. Got a penalty to Newtown immediately. We've had now almost 30 minutes play in the first half. It'll certainly upset the flight of the ball, but he's already landed 2 out of 2. He's going for the hat-trick with this one. As he comes in, the score is St George 11, Newtown 7. Good-looking kick again, and up go the flags. That's 3 in a row for Bob Lanigan, and the score's now a little bit closer. St George 11, Newtown 9. Oh, a long one. Who's that going to? Eventually taken by Langland, standing out deep in the backs, and he's setting his sights on the line. He could even go in, but eventually Bullock comes in from the wing and crashes him down, and young Cox also got him, but he's only a couple of yards short of the line. Raper now gets his pass along the ground, probably a knock-on, loose on the ground, and the referee has blown his whistle, and a penalty for offside play by Newtown. A penalty to St George right in front of the Newtown post. St George 11, Newtown 9 as Langland comes in. And it's between the posts, and St George go to a lead of 13 points to 9 over Newtown, with about 5 or 6 minutes remaining to the end of the first half. Evans spearing it over there to Beath, then to Raper. Raper going inside, steps inside a tackle by Paul Quinn, and another one. Cox comes at him, gets his pass away well there to Gourlay, and Gourlay gets his pass to Beath in turn, and he's dragged down, although there's a penalty to St George. He was just short of the Newtown 25.
He took that ball, he was offside and he took that ball, Jim, and Samuel.
There's Lanigan's kick for touch, right into the crowd. And he's brought play up now about 5 yards, perhaps a little bit less than that, short of the halfway line. Scrum to go down there, and Cox to put the ball in for Newtown. Scrum collapsing, it's gone right down in a heap, and Samuelson calls for them to get up again. In she goes. It's a St George ball, but it bounced off somebody's boot and comes straight out. And Cox again, number 7 for Newtown. And Newtown ball this time gets it to Carnegie, over there to Keys, to Moore. Moore looks for the split down the middle, gets it. There's an intercept there by Billy Smith. He flips it out to Lumsden. Lumsden's going for the line. Bullock comes at him, and over the top he's dragged down midway between the Newtown 25 and the halfway line. Carnegie got him at the last. Going through with it is Pollard. Pollard taken head on there by Bullock. St George eager to get these loose balls. Out it comes this time to Beath, running straight and hard across field, and he's gained another valuable 5 or 6 yards. Plays it to Evans. Dummies, gets it there to Rasmussen. Rasmussen well taken by Wilson. Walsh to Gourlay. Straight and hard into Moore. Very cleverly takes him side on, wrestles him down to the ground. He plays it to Raper. Raper dummying a long one over there to Huddard. Straight and hard down the centre. Look at the power of this man. He could go in. He's got through 4 tackles and he must go in for a try, and over the line he goes. What a man. No try. Apparently he's lost the ball over the line. There's no try. Well, that was a lucky escape. If ever a side deserved, or a player deserved to score a try, it was Big Dick Huddard. What a big bruising run.
It was bad luck for Huddard. It was a wonderful, wonderful effort, but the referee was right. I closely watching, he dropped the ball, and then he lost the ball as he went over the line.
Well, there's Lanigan's kick, and it'll be taken there by Beath, number 9. He's in centre field now, coming into Newtown territory. Straight and hard down the centre, everybody underneath him, but he's still made a run of about 25 or more yards. He'll play it to Walsh as soon as he can get up. To Clay. Looks for Smith. No, he's going on his own. Pickard comes at him and he's ridden into the ground just short of the Newtown 25. This is Smith to Evans. Evans looking for a split underneath. His opposite number, Cox, dived at him and put him down, but they're now inside the Newtown 25. Loose on the ground, fed out there, and it'll come to Rasmussen. Back inside to Walsh. Walsh tries to step inside a tackle there, and he's crashed down about 15 yards short of the Newtown line in centre field. Raper to Smith, to Huddard again. Clapping on the pace, and he's through another tackle, looking for King. There's an intercept by Dick Quinn. This could be danger, and he's flying to the line. Everybody's after him. There's one tackler. Beath will get to him, and he puts him down. Well, that's an amazing thing. Big Beath, the second rower, chased him for about 20 yards and chased the Newtown winger and put him down, but it's still Newtown in possession. Oakley has it. Goes around the blind side, looks for Quinn, but he can't get a pass clear. He'll get up and play it right on the St George 25 to Jeffries, to Paul Quinn, to Wilson. Walsh underneath him, and Clay comes in as an extra stopper. They're just still in centre field right on the St George 25, and the crowd still roaring its head off with that tremendous intercept as it comes to Johnny Cox. Well taken though by Pollard, and he'll get up and play it still on the St George 25. Fed out by Paul Quinn to Pickard. Across there to Cowie. Cowie well taken. Evans hurt himself a little bit in the tackle there. The St George half gets to his feet a little bit groggily. Fed out there to Pickard. Pickard puts his head down and barges forward, and well taken by Huddard. They're still on the St George 25 centre field. Comes out to Paul Quinn on the bounce. He's knocked it on, dives on by Clay, and St George have regained possession just outside their own 25. Goes to Gourlay. Gourlay crashing straight across field. Pickard eventually comes at him, and down he goes, assisted by Carnegie. St George throwing it about a tremendous amount in this first half. This is Rasmussen trying to dart his way through. Well taken underneath, and he'll get up and play it. Tackle there by Paul Quinn. It goes to Raper. Across to Evans. Evans looks for a bit of a split, but well taken over the top there by Cowie. They're midway between the St George 25 and the halfway line. Raper again getting onto it. Well taken. Flips it back to Walsh, though. Pickard underneath him, and then Jeffries dives at him, but play now coming up very close to the halfway line and still in centre field. Evans to Rasmussen. Looks towards Langlands. Langlands covered, and he decides to go on his own. He'll play it to Beath, to Huddard, and Huddard will clap on the face again, straight and hard down the centre. Look at the players bounce off him. He's made a run again of about 10 yards. Plays it to Rasmussen, over to Raper. Raper straight and hard down the centre. Good, nice inside pass there to Smith. Smith darting and weaving, clips it along the ground. There is knocked on, picked up by Evans, gets it out to King, but the referee has caught it, and we'll have a scrum packed down midway between the Newtown 25 and the halfway line, and in the background one of the Newtown players down injured. I think it's Pickard, is it? The scrum to go down then midway between the Newtown 25 and the halfway line, and Cox, the Newtown half, to feed it. It's a St George ball, as you saw, bounce straight out, but it'll go in again. Cox ready now, the scrum wheeling right around. He'll have to wait for it to straighten up, and they've pushed a little bit off the mark, I'd say, but not a great deal. And a penalty to St George. This is in kicking distance for someone, and it looks as though Langlands will come over and attempt this one midway between the, or a bit closer in fact, to the 25, but roughly midway between the Newtown 25 and the halfway line. No, they're giving it to Rasmussen. This is the third kicker St George has used so far in this first half. Already Langlands and King have had efforts.
1 minute to go, Jim, for half-time.
As Rasmussen comes in, the score is 13-9 St George. That one is going over, and it's a goal for St George. They've gone a little bit further ahead now and lead Newtown 15 points to 9 with half-time just seconds away. And it goes to Huddard. Needless to say, that was the half-time hooter. And at half-time, St George 15 lead Newtown 9, and for St George, tries by King, Evans and Huddard, two goals by Langlands and 1 by Rasmussen, and for Newtown, a try to Moore and 3 goals to Bob Lanigan. St George 15, Newtown 9 at half-time.
Of course, put on a wonderful match yesterday, scored 2 excellent tries after early form that wasn't too good, and Cleary also as a class winger. Here's
Rasmussen's attempted conversion, and it swung away, and so We've given them 3 points for the try by King, and St George lead Newtown 18 points to 9. After, if we can see the clock, we break our necks to see it from this position.
9 minutes, Jim.
About 9 or so minutes in this second half. We'll go straight to Smith. Takes it just inside his own 25. He's got Lumsden with him. Decides to go infield, and Moore and Keys both come at him and put him down 30 yards out. Plays it to Walsh, to Clay. Pollard across there to Beath. So Langland's up as extra man, steps inside a tackle, finds King again. King's flying to the line, steps inside 2 tackles. Plenty of defence this time, though, and he's wrestled down there by Carnegie just inside the Newtown half. He's having a great game. Rasmussen across there to Evans. Evans well caught. Paul Quinn rides him into the ground about 20 yards out from the Newtown line. Walsh has no, he lets Clay pick it up. Bad one there, could have been forward. No, yes, apparently it was. And we'll have a scrum packed down just outside the Newtown 25. The score at St George 18, Newtown 9. And about 12 minutes gone in this second half. And a penalty before the ball goes into Newtown. I thought, obviously against the St George front row, and this will give Flanagan a chance to find touch. Veering infield a little bit, but it'll find touch beautifully, in fact, midway between the St George 25 and the halfway line. Newtown penalty, so Cox to come around and put the ball in for Newtown. Cox number 7 to the right of referee Samuelson. In it goes, and it bounces straight out for Newtown to Carnegie. Moore to Keys, running wide, stepping around Pollard, and he's got Quinn with him. If he can get a pass clear, he's still going, and eventually Clay comes over and puts him down. Assisted also by Smith. This is Moore back inside there to Quinn. Quinn well grasped around the ankles by Langlands, and they're right on the St George 25. Stokowy knocks on, falls on it.
George offside. He puts George offside in front of the goalpost.
That was a lucky break, Ray. This will make it just a little bit more interesting as Lanigan has placed the ball. The score is St George 18, Newtown 9. And the flags go up. And Newtown has gone along for another 2 points. St George 18, Newtown 11. Been a good all-round performance by St George. They've scored 5 tries. And if their goal kicking hadn't fallen down, the score probably would have been much higher than as Rasmussen comes in. St George 21, Newtown 11. That looks a bit better. No, it's going to the left of the post. Won't even reach the target, in fact. And the score remains then after about 20 minutes play in the second half. St George 21, Newtown 11. 20 yards out from the Newtown line and about 24 minutes gone in the second half as it comes to Clay to Pollard. Pollard's got Lumsden with him, but he's well taken underneath by Cowie. And again, about 20 yards out from the Newtown line. Raper at dummy half. Evans. Dummies goes in his own, well taken and wrestled down by Carnegie, but he made a couple more yards. They're only about 15 yards out now from the Newtown line. Clay. Rasmussen coming through at full pelt. Well, and he steps out of a tackle. He could go in here. Gets his pass away there to Langlands, and I think he's gone in for a try.
Well, it's all St George now. There's another good team effort. St George moving the ball around, backing up well, and they're applying the pressure of great players, or very good players, and they're going further ahead. 24 points to 11 with about 17 minutes left of the second half.
This one looks a bit better, but I think it may have gone a bit further. No, it's all right. The flags go up. Another 2 points for St George, and now they've absolutely clinched this game, 26 points to 11. It'll come out to Paul Quinn. Loose on the ground there. Dick Quinn manages to pick it up, luckily, and he's dumped heavily into the ground there by Brian Clay. That shook him up a little bit, but also shook Clay up because he's still suffering the effects of a tackle a few moments ago. Cox gets it away there to Carnegie, across to Keys. Keys stepping inside, well taken underneath by Smith, almost lost the ball, and he'll get up and play it just inside the St George 25. Over to Cowie. Cowie that time to Oakley. Oakley well taken. He's going to be dragged down there, right on the St George 25. Paul Quinn to Lanigan up as extra man for the first time in a while. Raper slams him down over the top, and was Billy Smith underneath. Paul Quinn dodges around, gets it to Cox. Cox looking for a bit of a split there, but again, the cover defence holding. There's just no gap out there at the moment. Newtown are throwing themselves against a brick wall. Paul Quinn over to Cowie. Goes behind him, picks it up okay. He'll have to dodge around the other side, hunt it after him, or slam him into the ground. They're losing a bit of ground of possession now, midway between their own 25, between the St George 25 and the halfway line. Over to Oakley. Oakley steps inside a tackle by Clay, but he's dragged down eventually there by Pollard. Jeffrey's the dummy half, and he's a bit slow getting up. Comes to Paul Quinn. To Wilson coming through on the burst, running wide, gets a passway there, a bad one to Keys, can't handle it. St George have regained midway. No, apparently referee Samuelson, and Billy Smith has been called out by Samuelson. He's not very happy with the way that, not called out, but he was spoken to, I should say, by Samuelson. Not very happy with that decision. And the linesman in.
Robin Goulet, he's having a bit of a talk to. But it's been a pretty clean match, right, sir? Fairly hard match, but fairly clean, and I don't think that...
Well, nothing much comes of that, and so the scrum will go down with Evans putting it in for St George, a St George ball, and a penalty, even though St George got the ball from the scrum to
Well, I reckon
Newtown.
that's squaring up, Jim. Excuse me, butting. I reckon they're squaring up. That was Smith that threw the ball down a minute ago, and he called him back, you remember?
Yes, that's quite true. Well, Lanigan, obviously, it's useless going for an attempted goal. He's going to put it up in the air. But no, he's going for touch, surprises me. He'll find touch then roughly midway between the St George try line and the St George 25, and the clock showing 10 minutes to go.
I agree with you, Jim. I thought I'd have put it in there and take a risk with that one.
It's St George 26, Newtown 11. And Jeffries can't get his head down in the scrum for Newtown. Samuelson calls for them to pack down again. This looks a bit better, although the scrum's wheeling, and he'll call somebody out perhaps here. The crowd gave a bit of a roar. No, he's just going to call them in away from the touchline. They're getting far too close, 10 yards in. But from here it looked as though someone threw a punch. Who'll go unnamed, of course. Cox putting it in for Newtown. And a penalty immediately to St George. Feed across in the scrum there by Newtown. And Cox just throwing it back there to Eddie Lumsden prior to the ball going back to Langlands, who'll look for touch on the cricket ground side of the sports ground. This one finds touch midway between the St George 25 and the halfway line. The scrum to go down there, and Evans will feed the scrum for St George. The minute's ticking away, about 8 minutes to go to full time, and St George with this game in the grasp as they win another scrum, and Clay gets it away to Smith, to Pollard, back to Smith, backs up well with a nice reverse pass. He's got King coming inside him, completely beaten the defence. But dived out eventually there by Carnegie. He's still going. Lanigan gets to him. He's still trying to get a pass clear, and play now right up on the Newtown 25. Another enterprising burst by St George as Evans gets onto it. Cowie drags him down about 2 yards short of the Newtown 25. Smith at dummy half. Rasmussen took it rather awkwardly, and he tries to burst his way through, and he gets his pass clear there to Huddard. Huddard caught underneath by Wilson. They're about 10 yards short of the Newtown line. He'll play it to Walsh. Could be another St George try here. Clay knocks it on. He's dived on it. Saved a loss of possession there, but a penalty to St George anyway for offside play by Newtown. Well, Langlands has scored 2 goals. Hasn't been particularly successful with his kicking, but this looks an easy one. And that one's okay between the posts. Another goal to Langlands, another 2 points to St George, and they go to a lead now of 28 points to 11. Cox to Carnegie, to Wilson. Got more with him, and he's lost the ball as he goes through, picked up by King. Here's a last-minute sensational run by King, but he's well caught round the ankles there by Carnegie. Dragged down midway between the St George 25 and the halfway line. To Clay, to Beath. Evans underneath, but he's flipped his pass to King and then to Lumsden. Lumsden's inside Bullock. He misses Bullock's tackle, and Moore comes at him. Grabs him by the jumper, but he's still going. Lanigan gets him, throws it inside. Smith has knocked it back. It's still okay, but it's a Newtown ball. Oakley has dived on it for Newtown, just outside the Newtown 25, as Newtown have possession just outside their own 25, and Paul Quinn trying to go through. Flips a pass away there to Carnegie. He's broken clear, but he's only got Oakley with him. Oakley's well taken there by both Gourlay and Evans, about 10 yards inside the St George half in centre field. Over to Cowie. Cowie trying to stab around Beath, but underneath Evans comes at him, and he'll have to play the ball midway between the St George 25 and the halfway line. Across to Graham Wilson now coming through inside. Evans takes him at the last there. and play a little bit closer now to the St George line, as thousands of school children now starting to come onto the ground. The St George have reclaimed as Clay has it, going straight and hard, looking for Lumsden, coming inside, gets his pass over Lumsden's head to Smith. Smith still going, Moore dives at him. Well, again, as if you didn't know, that was the full-time hooter, and St George has run out the winners as the school children come pouring onto the ground to see their idol. St George 28 has defeated Newtown 11, and for St George, 2 tries by Johnny King and tries by Langlands, Lumsden, Evans and Huddard. 3 goals to Langlands, 2 goals to Rasmussen, and for Newtown, a try by Brian Moore and 4 goals to Bob Lanigan. The score again, St George 28, Newtown 11. And for his closing comments, here's Ray Steer.
Well, before a huge crowd here at the Sydney Sports Ground this afternoon, St George defeated Newtown and were clearly the superior side all day. The St George forwards took complete charge, and Newtown just couldn't keep up the pace after the early opening, the early fast opening. It was a much superior all-round St George team, but Newtown never gave up right to the finish, but ability won in the end, and St George run out the winners by 28 points to 11 in an exciting and thrilling match here at the Sydney Sports Ground. Well, that's all from the Sydney Sports Ground this afternoon.